Please go ahead and just brief me your details in.
I have around 2 years of experience as a tackle developer and support analyst. So I work as part of the card payments domain, and my role is to develop automation macros using Tackle and Python, and also to support transaction research. But then I'm a fresher in big data, but I've upskilled myself with several relevant courses.
Okay. So what are the tasks that you have performed so far?
Uh, s- so far, with related to big data or in my current company.
Yeah, yeah. You can go ahead and tell both.
Okay, so in my current company, I've developed automation macros using Tackle. So Tackle it's a proprietary scripting language similar to Python. So usually we have something called as disaster recovery processes. So these were being done manually. So right now it's automated. So all the scripting and scripting was done by our team. And apart from that, right now most of the work is related to card payments transaction research. So we get in queries like why a particular transaction is being declined, or why a particular financial institution is not approving the request. So we go in and look into the systems and respond back with the reason, as to what the reason is.
So, are you involved by making that system, or what exactly is the your hand in that?
Yeah, so actually, there's an application called as Connex. So it's basically a payment switch. So all the transactions that we do using our card, it comes and hits the payment switch. So I work in that particular application. So this application, it runs on an mainframe called as HP Nonstop.
So they are not using any big data related tools, right?
No, they're not using big data related tools, but then I've upskilled myself with some relevant courses from Udemy and Coursera as well.
Mm-hmm. What are the courses that you learn?
From Udemy, I've took up several courses on Databricks, Spark, PySpark, and I've done some mini projects as well. Sorry, personal projects as well. The exact name I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay, so where are you strong in? Which tool that you have a good experience or knowledge?
I've been learning Spark and PySpark for around 5 6 months now, so I'm good with Spark.
So I just want to know how you create a RDD.
Okay, so RDD, there are multiple ways to create an RDD. We can create using the parallelize method. We can also read it from a text file using sc.text file. And yeah, these are the two methods to create an RDD.
Okay, I just want to know a syntax for to create a data frame.
To create a data frame, okay, it depends on the file. Okay, so a generic format will be a df equal to spark dot read dot format, and then the format of the file. Then there's different options that we have, and then at the end the dot load. So if we are using PySpark, then we have a spark.read.csv, spark.read.parquet.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
how will create a Spark object?
Spark object. So Spark object right now. Um, you mean the Spark? What is it called? Spark session, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So Spark session we create it as a Spark session equal to. First, we have to import Spark session from PySpark.sql. Uh, I forgot the exact package, but the syntax is Spark session dot builder dot master dot app name dot get or create.
So I just want to know the difference between client mode or cluster mode.
Okay. So client mode and cluster mode are two deployment modes in Spark. With client mode, the driver is launched on the client, basically from the machine from where the Spark submit command is invoked. and with cluster mode, the driver is launched on the cluster, so there is no dependency with the with the machine from where the Spark Summit command is invoked. So for usually for long running jobs, we use cluster mode, and the client mode we use it when we wish to see the output of your Spark application on screen. So that is where we use client mode. And for long running jobs, we usually go with cluster mode.
What ID you are using?
What I've worked with is Databricks, but apart from that, we can use the PyCharm. We can use, and there are several others. We can use PyCharm. I've worked with PyCharm also, most of my the project that I've done is with Databricks.
You said you have experience or a knowledge in Python as well, right?
Yes.
So what pass statement will do in Python?
A pass statement, it's like a placeholder that we use while defining a function. So if we just have to define a function, and if we use the pass keyword, it just acts as a placeholder. Suppose if we don't write the logic of the function and we intend to write it later stage at a later stage, we use the pass keyword so that it doesn't throw any errors at runtime.
What is init?
Sorry, init.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, init is like it's like a constructor. It's basically a special function which initializes the object of the class.
Mm-hmm. So is it mandatory in Python to write init statement?
It, init statement, I think it's mandatory because it gets automatically called whenever we instantiate an object. Yeah, I think it's mandatory to write.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just want to know the difference between this arrays and list in Python.
Okay, so list, it's basically a collection of elements which are ordered and mutable, and the data type of each element in list can vary. But whereas in array, the data types are should be of the same, should be uniform. Like it can be either integer array or string array, whereas for list, it can have a mix of integers and strings or different data types.
So you mean to say array holds homogeneous, list holds
Yes,
heterogeneous, right?
yes.
How you execute a Python file? What is the command that you generally use?
Executing a Python file. So what we did in our project is we just saved it as we just saved it as a Python file, and then we created a yeah, we just save it as a Python file, and when we double click on it, it gets executed. Uh, okay, you mean from the terminal how to execute?
Yes.
Okay, from the terminal, we just have to give py and then the file name.
Okay. What are the decorators in Python?
Okay, decorators in Python. Decorators. So how to say, suppose let's say we have a function or a function that is already defined, and we wish to add some extra functionalities to that function without actually changing the function. Like we have to add a new function, and how to say, we uh, suppose we have to extend the functionalities of a function, but we should not change it. I'm not sure of how to explain it. Yeah, I'll go again. Suppose let's say we have a function, and there is already some functionality built into it, and we wish to extend or add some more features into that function. So we create a different function and decorate the other function so as to extend its capabilities.
Have you had X range?
X range. I think X range is like a generator function, uh, right? So instead of returning the range as a whole, it yields the results.
Mm-hmm. What is
Yeah,
the difference between X range and range?
yeah. So range is the range returns the So range is basically a sequence object. I guess it returns the iterative list as a whole, whereas in X range it yields the results, meaning it doesn't return the range that is mentioned as a whole. Instead, it returns one by one.
Okay. Are you sure?
I think so. I haven't used X range.
Okay. How you delete a file in Python? Let us say there is a file inside one folder.
Okay.
Then what are the commands that you generally use to delete a file?
Okay, so for that we have to import the OS module, and then I'm not exactly sure of the method, but OS dot maybe delete, and then the file directory path.
Have you ever worked on this file input and output? Let us
Uh,
say to
uh,
read a file by using a Python, to delete a file by using a Python, something like that.
no,
Okay. Have you ever shell script?
no, not much of shell script.
Basic commands.
Basic commands, yeah, basic commands. I think I'm okay with
Okay. Do you know Hadoop?
Hadoop. Yeah, basics of Hadoop.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, like if you want to copy a
Hmm.
file one location to another location, what command that you use in Hadoop?
Okay, Hadoop fs hyphen uh, it's copyright. So Hadoop fs hyphen uh, I think MV, and then the source and destination path.
MV is move, right?
Move. Okay.
I'm not asking you
Cop,
to move. Copy, I want.
copy fs hyphen CP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, CP, and then the source and destination path.
Mm-hmm. How to list files inside the directory in Hadoop?
ls command. Hadoop fs hyphen ls.
Mhm. How to delete a file in Hadoop?
Hadoop fs hyphen rm, remove, uh, and then the file path.
Okay. Do you know Hive?
Yeah, basics of Hive.
What is by default, metastore of Hive?
By default, we get Derby database where it stores the metadata.
What is the difference between Derby and remote database?
So Derby database, it's like local for each Hive instance, and I think once the Hive, once we exit out of Hive, the metastore gets deleted. Whereas for remote, the metastore is preserved even after exiting the Hive session.
Is it correct answer?
I'm not sure. I haven't worked on Hive.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what is the backend storage for Spark?
Backend storage for Spark. So a Spark is basically a compute engine. This backend storage can vary. It can either be your data lake storage like Hadoop, or any cloud storage system like Azure Data Lake Storage, or other storages. HDFS. I'm sorry, not Hadoop.
In Spark, say one file is there.
Hmm.
In that file, there is no header. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Customer has given some column name. Let
Hmm.
us say some ID, gender, name, and
Hmm.
age,
Hmm.
and city.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
You want to create and append that schema to a file or a
Hmm.
data frame.
Hmm.
Okay. How will you do that?
So the data that we have does not have a header. We just have to append. We just have to add that header to the data frame, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we have to use the dot option header and then true.
No, no, no. The file does
Sorry.
not have an header.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Explicitly, you have to add.
Add. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are two ways to do this. We can use the DDL string method and define in the header in one single string, and then attach it with dot schema and then the schema. The other way is to use the struct field and struct type and struct field.
Can you please give me an example or a code for struct field and struct type?
Okay, so basically we have to give a variable schema and then equal to struct type, and then inside struct type it will be a list of struct fields. So struct field comma we have to give the column name, the type of the column, and whether it can have hold null values or not. So the struct field accepts three parameters: the column name, in the data type, and the nullability.
So if my file is, let us say, 10 GB, okay, I
Sorry.
want to my input file size is 10 GB,
Okay.
okay.
Hmm.
Whatever I just now told you, right? That
Hmm.
file size is 10 GB without
Okay.
header, and
Okay.
our idea is like we have to do some transformations,
Hmm.
okay, and also add the header,
Hmm.
okay,
Okay.
and then output after transformations. Output I want in let us say I want output in only 500 MB each.
Okay.
Okay, how
Okay.
will you do that?
500 MB each. Uh,
I mean,
hmm.
if there is a 10 GB of
Hmm.
one file, then an output it should be 20
Hmm.
files with each file size as 500
Okay.
MB.
Okay. So while saving, we can repartition it to no 20. Repartition of coil is set to 20. Fully set to 20.
What is the difference between repartition and coalesce?
So repartition and coalesce both are used to control the number of partitions. With the repartition, we can increase or decrease the number of partitions, and with coalesce, you can only decrease the number of partitions. So the main difference is that repartition always invokes a full shuffle, and the data within each partitions will be uniform. And with coalesce, it tries to minimize shuffle and it tries to combine existing partitions so as to minimize shuffle basically.
So in this case, you don't have a chance to use coalesce, correct?
We don't have a chance to use.
Coalesce, right? Because you coalesce can't
Uh,
increase the number of partitions. You mean to say?
yes. Coalesce, we can increase the number of partitions for RDDs because by turning the shuffle parameter to true, but for data frames we cannot.
So without using coalesce or repartition, how can you achieve this? Because I don't want to go for big shuffling.
Okay, without coalesce and repartition, should we use any compression techniques? Uh, uh, I'm not sure. Should we use compression techniques or
That is
okay,
completely custom
okay,
solution that you have to think and come.
okay. Uh, Partitioning and bucketing might not work, right? Particular size. Uh, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. No, no, I'm not sure.
Okay. Are you aware delta tables in Databricks concept?
Yeah, delta table. Yeah, little knowledge I have on delta tables.
Can you please explain what are those?
Okay, so delta table, it's like a storage layer on top of data lake, which brings which brings consistency and more reliability to data lakes. So the issues with the data lake storage is where we cannot append data or we cannot modify data, and these are not asset compliant. But with delta lakes, the data that is stored into delta lakes, they are asset compliant, and we can and versioning is also possible. We can uh, you know uh, uh, we can query uh, a previous version of the data that we had earlier. So these are the main advantages of delta lakes, basically adding asset compliant properties and versioning.
Okay.
uh, yeah.
So can't you achieve the same thing in Hadoop or Hive or any other Spark environment without Databricks?
Without delta lake.
Yeah, yeah. How you achieve this Delta Lake features uh, in other platforms like in Hadoop or Spark with Hadoop? Do
Oh,
you know what I'm asking indirectly is SCDs.
okay. Oh,
How you
SCDs.
work on
Okay.
SCDs?
No, I'm not aware of SCDs. I know it's slowly changing dimensions, but I haven't read much more onto it.
Okay, what is difference between rank and dense rank?
Okay, so rank and tensor rank. Uh, so both are basically window functions, and uh, rank what it does is suppose in case be, so in case of a tie in the rank, in case of a tie in the rank, the consecutive rank it gets skipped, whereas for dense rank, in case of a tie it doesn't get skipped, and the next rank comes into picture.
Then what is the row number?
A row number will add basically uh, how do I say, it basically adds a row number to each and every record. um, yeah.
What is the syntax to write a row number function?
So select the column name over the over clause, and then the row number. Select some column over clause, and then the row number from the table.
Is it
Yeah.
correct?
Selection. Think it's correct.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay, how you count records in data frame without using count function?
Without using count function, how to count the number of records? I'm not sure. Count function. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you delete a duplicate rows in a table?
Data
Particular just one
frame
column.
or data frame
Yeah,
or
whatever, whatever.
okay. In data frames, we can use the dot distinct method, or we can also use drop duplicates and specify a subset of columns.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it from my end.
Okay.
You want to ask anything?
No, Naresh, I'm good.
So actually, I just want to give some feedback based on
Yeah.
our discussions.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going through your resume.
Hmm.
First of all, your resume is only having one page. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
So that is not advisable. At least you please maintain two pages.
Okay.
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 And the project should be little more elaborative, not
Okay.
3 and 4 lines or 5 lines. Okay.
Okay.
And you said you have started your career in 2020.
20, yes.
Now you can say you have 2.5 years experience, almost,
Yeah.
or more than that, right?
Yeah. 2 years, around 2 years. Yes.
2 years. So uh, your project, existing project, you said mainframe, right?
Yes. Yes.
So why don't you? We can do the similar project by using Hadoop and big data tools. You know that. You know that.
Yeah. But
So you
hmm.
have to do a small demo by using this Hadoop and I can say Spark.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
and then practice it. And idea is like you can explain the same thing, whatever is the objective of the existing project, by using Hadoop and Spark tools.
Okay.
And and for interview when you go, I think
Mm,
you may not explain that I learned, I have only theoretical experience, or I learned only, from YouTube or from Udemy. I don't have practical experience.
mm.
Oh, I think if you say this, I'm sure you won't select.
Oh,
You're
okay.
getting me?
Okay.
But here, the project which you did,
Mm,
you have to explain in a big data terminology and tools, and
okay.
then you can add. Currently, I'm also learning Azure, where I
Oh,
have a knowledge on, let's say, ADF or ADLS or Databricks on Azure.
okay.
Okay, we have started doing our project
Mm,
on these tools and cloud.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is our second project that we have started working on it. First
Okay.
project is on Hadoop and Spark,
Okay.
where you have to have some knowledge on any scheduler,
Okay.
Uzi or Airflow.
Okay.
Okay, I think you have to do a mini project or a project, yeah. Otherwise, it is a bit difficult to select any interview.
Okay. I did do a mini project, the one that I've mentioned, on Formula One
It
racing.
should be, it
Yeah.
should be more, you can say realistic and more
Okay.
elaborative way. And
Okay.
architecture-wise, you should be perfect, like design, right?
Okay.
How
Okay.
a pipeline design for the project.
Okay.
Okay, so the 3 or 4 lines won't help you.
Okay.
You should write in detail. You can search, many resumes are available in
Mhm.
Naukri or YouTube or any other platform. You
Okay.
can go through it and try to do some hands-on and
Okay.
put the same thing in your resume.
Okay.
And you should not mention that personal projects. You
Okay.
have to add one more as an extra project.
Okay.
Okay? You can say that you are having knowledge on Informatica or mainframe.
Okay. I don't have knowledge on Informatica.
So you have to show something. At least you
Okay.
two projects. One project is completely on Hadoop, and next project is currently you are working on Azure.
Okay.
To do so, you should have experience or a knowledge on both Hadoop and Spark as well as the Azure.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So you have to change your resume and do these things.
Okay.
And what is lacking on you is because you can say
Mm.
you're not pretty confident when you are saying your answers.
Oh, okay.
But majority has answers you are saying correct, but very less answer that you given wrong.
Okay.
But there is, I think something is missing, like the confidence levels are
Oh,
missing from your answers.
okay.
Though you are saying it right, but the commanding is not there in your voice. You should improve that skill.
Okay. Okay.
Getting me? And take it
Yeah. Yeah.
serious and
Yes.
be active and be confident.
Okay.
Okay, you have to say that yes, I did that. Then this is the procedure. If you didn't do, you can say that I didn't do that in practical because I didn't get a chance, but I know the concept or theory
Okay.
knowledge.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you should not look like slow. You should look like fast and
Okay.
a dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
anything else?
Yeah, just that answer to that question. How to store uh, with 500 MBs each.
You just take it as an assignment and
Okay.
search in Google because that is
Okay.
not a big deal. Why
Okay.
I ask the question is we have implemented that in my project.
Oh, okay.
Okay, don't
Okay.
worry if you are not able to do it. We will try to do it in any
Hmm.
of our sessions.
Sure, sure.
But you try to do it. It's not a big deal. It's a easy.
Okay.
Why we have to do that? Because sometimes we have to escape from this shuffling, right?
Yes.
So easily we can escape by doing some custom made code.
Okay.
So that is part of performance tuning.
Okay.
You're getting me?
Yes, yes.
Spark, there is a function to do so. To try to explore it. That is
Okay.
very useful.
Okay.
Or we can also do by using Python code
Oh, okay.
or shell script also. Anyone.
Okay. So it's like a custom user-defined function you have to create.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You explore it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Sure.
And let me know. Let me know in a chat.
Huh.
Chat in the sense, either in YouTube or in our uh, Clever Studies YouTube. Sorry, Clever Studies WhatsApp group.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Or any of our sessions also, you can explain me
Okay.
by sharing your screen. It makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, Naresh.
Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else?
No, Naresh, all good.
So window functions are very, very important. You
Yeah.
haven't explained a proper syntax for row number.
Yes. Yeah.
That is
I should have
generally we
gone.
use more in real life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Not
should
only
have.
that, lead and lag functions also as part of window functions. So you
Yes.
should be aware that
Yeah. I didn't go through SQL. I didn't practice
you
SQL
should.
much.
You should.
Yes.
SQL I
Yes.
didn't cover much because
Yeah.
time is not sufficient. But yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
you should be a master in SQL.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I think. Uh, Thank you, Joel, for your
Yeah.
time. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, Naresh.